So thanks again and welcome to the SEL Wellness Week, of course, and of course our counseling freshman event. We thank you for coming, and so we just wanted to just reiterate some things that we wanted to touch on for next week's, and it's your first time taking finals, so this was the purpose of sponsoring this event today or hosting this event. So the agenda today will have some introductions. The two SEL students that will be helping us today is Chloe and Soham. And then we'll go over, and then of course, our lovely Miss Hutchin, Miss Adler, and Mr. Ladine are our counselors that will be helping us as well. We'll go over the final schedule, the SEL's student advice, which Soham and Chloe will give some very good tips for you all. And then, of course, we'll go over some tips and strategies for taking your first time finals. And then, of course, the bulk of the presentation, we want to hear from you and want to be able to get some questions answered that you may have. So here is our counseling department, and so we're listed by alpha. And so Miss Adler is at the beginning of the alpha, Mr. Ladine, me, Miss Wise, Miss Hutchin. She's actually subbing for Miss Deanna Mostel, so you'll probably see Miss Deanna Mostel's name on all of your documentation, but she's on leave at the moment, and so Miss Hutchin is wonderfully taking over for her for the rest of the school year. Mr. Carter, Miss Parker, Mr. Rojas, and Miss Maite Vialdo, which is our counseling secretary that you'll probably be seeing or seeing a lot of emails from her when it comes to setting up the presentations, not the presentations, just the counseling appointments that you will be having in the spring for the freshmen. And then also check out our new LAHS counseling website. It gives tons of wonderful information, and so we do encourage students to look at our website, and that's where our office hours are posted. So you're able to come into our Zooms that we have Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays during you guys' lunchtime. So here is the first semester final schedule. So of course, Monday will be a asynchronous day, but some teachers may be providing synchronous times to help with review. So be on the lookout for that. Then there's Tuesday, you'll have your third period at 9:30 and end at 11:15, and fifth period 1:05 to 2:45. Wednesday, you'll have second and seventh period. The times are still about the same. And then Thursday, first and fourth. And then, of course, they'll finish up with sixth period, 9:30 to 11:15. And of course, this is posted in various areas, especially on our website on the front page. So you'll be able to see if you have any questions about this schedule and know your classes. It is posted on the front of the website. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Soham, excuse me, Soham, and Chloe to give their advice about first time taking your finals. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Soham. I'm a senior at Los Altos now, so I've had four finals. I've gone through what you guys have gone through um, as a freshman, not knowing what to do, and some tips that I kind of thought of that I could share with you guys. My first tip would be my freshman year, I was super stressed out about finals, so I stayed up a ton of nights studying, trying to get all the information in, and the night before each of my finals, I slept in because I thought that I would get some extra sleep and I'd be prepared for the final. I definitely advise you guys to get as much sleep as you can before the final, but try to do that for a week before. If you stay up a bunch of nights before the final and then sleep in the night before, you'll actually end up being even more tired, in my experience. And obviously, that's something we want to try not to do. Another little tip that I realized or kind of gained, or little study strategy I kind of came up with over the years, is I like to wake up early and study if it gets later at night, because I find that the later it gets at night, like after 12 p.m., I don't know, I kind of shut off mentally. I'm not as productive. So what I do is I try to sleep. I get a little reset by sleeping, and I wake up in the morning and study. And I think that also waking up in the morning and studying, especially now that we're just taking studies from home and we have our laptop in front of us, it's a great way to prepare for your finals that are going to happen in the morning. Overall, I'd just like to tell you guys to treat it like any other test. I remember freshman year, I was super, super stressed out. And you guys have to remember that being overly nervous is just going to help you. It's just a test. You guys will get through it. Be really confident. Stick to a studying plan that you make. Like this week, I would definitely make a studying plan for your next week test, and you'll do completely fine. And just remember, break is in 2 weeks now, and just keep that as a motivator to get you through the next week.
Yep, I agree with everything Soham said. Hi, my name is Chloe, by the way. I'm a sophomore. So I've done finals twice, technically, once in person and once online. So the first tip I have actually is when I was stressing about the finals the first time, one of my older friends showed me this website. It's like Roger Hub. Basically, to find it, you just type into Google final grade calculator, and it'll send you to this website. And you enter three things. You enter your current grade in the class, what grade you want to end with, and what percentage of the your grade the final is, and it'll tell you the lowest score you can get to meet your goal. And what that helped me was, so say if I have like something in the 90s and my final is worth 10% of my grade, the lowest score I can get is something in the 40s. So like really, if I do really, really bad on the final, I mean, if it comes to that, then I'll still be okay and I can still end with an A. And so that helps you prioritize, like, okay, if I only have this much time to study, I know that I'm good in chem because my chem grade is already high, but I don't like what my math grade is. So then maybe prioritize studying in math. And also it can help with nerves, or it depends, but it can help with nerves if you check exactly what grade you need to get on each final. And the next thing is, again, to like take care of yourself, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're eating enough and drinking water, and like don't stress too much because it does count, but it should reflect on the work you've already done. So, yeah. Also, if you need help with something, definitely make sure to reach out to your teachers because your teachers really want you to do well as much as you do. So, even if it's like this one small thing, you never know what's going to be on the final. So, you might as well ask and clarify and make sure you know everything that you need to and you feel prepared. Yep, that's it.
Great. Thank you guys for your perspective, and appreciate the student voice here and letting us kind of think about what we can and things to do to prepare and be better able to manage what's coming to us with finals. So again, thank you for the time. And just so everyone knows, we're going to have some time at the end to continue to ask questions. So please have those in mind. You can write them down. We'll try to get to those and have plenty of time at the end to discuss this. So keep those questions in your head. Don't worry. We'll have actually quite a bit of time for that. And what we're going to go into next in transitioning is kind of what we've gotten from a variety of sources, some other tips, right? That'll help us in our first finals. And we know that it can be a little overwhelming. And so we just want to kind of break this up into kind of these little steps that you can take at home, and in some cases with some of these tips with your friends. And so how can we deal with this, right? And be productive, right? With preparing for finals. So we have these 9 little tips. You can find lots more, but these are kind of just some general suggestions that we've seen that help. And I'll go through them kind of quickly. I won't have to necessarily go through all of them. You can all read as we're going through this presentation of what we recommend. But I think that the main thing that comes up a lot with students when it comes to stress is that stress itself is not gonna change your grade, right? Maybe some of us are worried about that math exam. Maybe some of us are really thinking about that science review and just a lot of content. And when we are unsure, our natural human reaction is right to stress. But we also got to then realize, worrying is not going to change whatever grade I have and make it better, right? We really need to take small steps and early steps to get this stuff done, right? So panicking won't help, right? So then what will, right? Instead of, oh God, what am I going to do? Let's think about where I can put my energy into. And that actually goes into the next couple points, which is like, we actually have some really good resources for you guys. For you to be able to actually put the energy into this preparation and not be so stressed out. So teachers have done a great job, right, of attempting to give you review materials and give you strategies on how to prepare for these larger exams. And they try to break them down into either review sheets, review exams, right? And so we definitely say you need to take those materials and take advantage of them. They give them to you for a reason. And so you want to be able to get those materials and really work on those. And I want to emphasize, let's do it this early. Procrastination, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to get to that stress, so you say, "Oh, I'll deal with it later." But if you can do this early and often, that stress you'll find as you get closer to finals actually is less. Okay. So other things that are going on with school and how things are going is, it's really critical too right now with the last couple of days of the year. I know today is one of those days. I know when we have shorter days with office hours, there are review times that teachers are making just for you guys to make sure that you feel more prepared and that you are less stressed. So take advantage of that. I think that's a really good opportunity. You can ask your one-on-one questions. A lot of stuff that we're not sure about, that's where you can go one-on-one with the teacher and say, I don't get this problem, or I don't understand this concept. Let's talk about it. Scheduling, right? And study groups, really good ways to organize your time, because time can easily go by. And with study groups, it becomes social. You don't have to do this by yourself and feel like you have to do all your answers and all your problems one-on-one. Even two people, even three people, maybe some of the friends that you have, maybe not with the same teacher, but have the same course, which we have common courses for all freshmen from middle school. Reconnecting with those friends and getting a little peer group together to work on this stuff, I think would really, really help you guys out. Designing a Quizlet, right? Practicing that, making sure you understand the information through some of these apps is a really good way to just check for knowledge. And then the next point, talking about that schedule we were just reviewing, right? Prioritizing which ones are the exams you're a little worried about, right? How much time between now and then do you have, right? And maybe putting in, maybe not just one day, but maybe 2 or 3, even 4 days, breaking it up instead of one large cram session, an hour here, an hour there. Studies show the more you review and are reminded of material, it's retained. So cramming does feel good in the moment because you're trying to get things done and you're in the study mode, you're in the zone. But breaking it up, we've seen, and kind of letting yourself have the material, think about it, and then come back to it, is also been seen as a really great way to excel in your testing. And with time management comes taking breaks, right? Making sure that you're not just sitting in front of your computer, which even with classes now, I think we're getting better about this. An hour, maybe 2 hours, let's take a walk. Let's get outside. Let's do some exercise inside, whatever it takes, maybe even watching something for a little bit to get your mind off of the exam. And then you come back to something. That also reminds me another tip that's come up where if you're feeling overwhelmed about a particular subject, maybe breaking up your testing schedule to rotate through different courses. So you're not feeling like you're just thinking about one thing. You keep your mind fresh, you rotate out subjects, you break down this big test that you're stressed out about into smaller steps while you're working on other exams too. So you're not just overwhelmed by one thing. We talked about this already, right? Wellness and eating, right? Sleeping, right? Keeping kind of as similar of a regular schedule that you have, right, is really good for you at this age to keep your body in its proper cycle, to be up and awake and ready for your test when it comes time, right? That first 9:30 exam, we want to be ready to go, have all our materials together. And so it really just helps you, especially for just your anatomy, your biology as a teenager, going through really late nights and then really early mornings or vice versa really doesn't help you in the long run. It feels good in the moment that you're excited and maybe got a little caffeine in you, but there's always a crash. So just be good to yourselves and take care of your bodies as well as your minds. Okay. Um, the other thing I did want to bring up real quick, that I was lucky enough to do, and I think this is the right place in this PowerPoint, is to just review real quickly. I was lucky enough, because usually English and history, math, I've got a couple of the courses, most of you, not all, they're similar. So I actually was able to ask some freshman teachers what they recommend, okay, what's on their exams. So you probably, but again, it's being recorded, so we want to make sure all the freshmen get the same info. And I want to review this kind of real quickly here. So first, I'm going to start with world studies. Okay, this is directly from the teachers. So, and everybody said that everyone's taking a similar exam, so we should be able to use this information. And I hope this helps you guys out in terms of what you can do. You have a short answer historical knowledge exam, and it's on the Industrial Revolution. And it goes under apparently your historical knowledge grade category. Um, there are a couple of tips here where they say review your assignments within the Industrial Revolution unit. Look at the documents. Any notes or review guides that they've given you for that would be really important. The format, what it's going to look like is they're going to give you some documents and sourcing information. It could be a map or a cartoon, also with that sourcing information. And you're going to have to answer questions about these things, right? The format of the exam, if you want to practice or review, I think this is a great tip from the teacher, is actually the same format as the World in the 1700s test that you guys had earlier in the semester. So that could be for you guys a great practice test and see how you did on it. What did you do well and what maybe you didn't really do so well at. And that could be a great place to practice and see where you might need to work on this for your final. Let's see. Those are the main hints. And I think that's really good content to know before you have this test. So there's definitely looking like some review materials for this. And we have those out with your teachers. So please have that stuff, be ready for that exam. The next subject is math. And I have here Geo, 30 multiple choice questions covering chapters 1 through 4. Looks like you guys have review sheets. So continue to use those review sheets. They're doing about one a day before finals. And then they're using each day this week to do retakes if you need them. And that there are 2 study times for the last 2 days of class before they go into the testing that they're using just for preparing for either retakes or studying for the final. So it's open notes. Definitely a good idea, they say here for Geo, again, to have a sheet or a 3x5 card with what you need because it is open notes. So that's a really nice thing to have to then have everything in front of you and be able to take this test. For Algebra 1/Algebra 2, it looks like there's about 15 larger questions with fill in the blank and multiple choice. It's going to cover the entire semester. There'll be a 3-part review that your teacher should be giving to you guys as we're building up to the final. So that's really nice to have and kind of help you prepare. And as long as they're working on those reviews and that you're really making sure you understand things, you should be ready for the test. Make sure if you don't understand something, like we said in these tips on this slide, come into those review sessions or go to office hours and make sure you ask questions before the test. And they're giving you quite a bit of time this week to study. So that is math. And then finally, I just want to make sure you guys get this info. I think it's really nice that the teachers did this. It is English. The question for survey will be, to what extent does To Kill a Mockingbird have values in today's curriculum? Okay, there will be articles and different points of reference that they've given you in class to help you with your argument, right? With whatever viewpoint you want to argue. It's mainly focusing on speaking and listening. The advice straight from the teacher would be to start working on this in class when the teachers give you time, and ask any questions that you need to have answered for this preparation with the teacher. And then also, have that material, know what you're going to be bringing up in your Socratic seminars or fifth grade ahead of time. And with me, when I tell some of the students I work with, it's like, if you know that you have a Socratic seminar and participation is important, let's not just maybe have 1 or 2 points that we want to make in the conversation. Let's have some extra. Maybe if we can aim for like 5, 7 points, little bullets. They don't have to be paragraphs. More detail, I think, does help. But having something that you can cover and know that you can bring to the conversation, I think will really help you be ready for those conversations. So those are the 3 main subjects, because we know with science and some other areas and electives, there's so many different courses freshmen are taking. We can't review all of that, but hopefully those are the core subjects that really help you guys and give you some real steps to getting ready for finals. Okay, so next on our review real quick, and I know we're going a little over here with the intro, but I want to make sure you have that detail, is just to remember as freshmen, grades are going to be important. They are going to be the first grades on your transcript. That'll be for fall. And then we do have second semester spring grades, right? You get 5 credits per each class. So for a full year, 2-semester course, right? 10 credits per course. But at the same time, these are important courses. If you are really worried, if you feel like it's overwhelming, there are ways to remediate this. It's not the end of the world, guys. There are options either through summer school or some other independent study courses that we have available when it comes time. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to do our best and see what kind of final grade we get. You'll have opportunities later to then make sure that you can recover any of these courses if you feel like it wasn't your best effort. So for us as a counseling department, we just want you to know at the end here of the content for this presentation is we're here to help you. We've been there too as students, and knowing that finals can sometimes be very stressful. We are available during lunch throughout the next set of days until the end of the semester, right? If you need to talk to us, if there's something going on, if there's confusion with your teacher, stress, we're here for you. And then the easiest way to connect with us is going to be email. There are some of us still doing some individual meetings with currently our juniors. And so, we might not be able to get to you right away in that moment, but we definitely are checking our emails often the next couple of weeks. And we want to make sure that that's the best way to get to us, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so that's it for me, and giving you kind of some tips and some reminders about the academics for this year. And now we're going into the last piece, just question and answer, excuse me. And I'll let Miss Adler go ahead and take over from here.
All right. Hi, guys. Thanks to those of you who are with us today. So we're just going to open it up for any questions that you have. And this is a great opportunity since, we're a pretty intimate group. Please don't be shy. Whatever questions you have, I'm guessing probably other people are wondering the same thing. So hopefully there's some brave souls who are willing to speak out. So go ahead and type in your questions in the chat. Anybody? That was a lot of really good detailed information. So definitely do, use those tips, use our school resources, your teachers, email your counselor. We have a question. All right, our question is, where do we find how much our final is worth in terms of percent? Who wants to take that?
I think you can find it on Canvas. So if you go to a certain class, click on it and then click grades, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then it'll show you like what percent. It'll say all the percentages. So it'll be like participation is blank percent, homework is blank percent, and finals should be one of them, except some classes, like for my English class, instead of a final percentage, your final is worth a certain amount of points in your major assignments category. So some classes, you don't know the exact percentage, You just know how many points in a different category it is.
Great. Thank you, Chloe. You should also be able to see that in SIS too. And if all else fails and it's not clear, teacher, email your teacher, pop into your teacher's office hours. That, you know, advocating for yourself is one of the most important skills that you're going to learn in high school. And freshman year, a lot of students are like kind of timid about reaching out to adults on campus, whether it's teachers or counselors, and they're feeling kind of shy, and that's okay. But we really encourage you to take that step because it really is a lot of help. So if you do have questions and you're not sure where to find those answers, you know, please do ask, because that was a really good question. And as you get used to taking finals, it's, you know, like they do tend to be a big part of your grades, and you want to be clear on how that's going to impact your grade. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Oh, and I just wanted to add that if your percentages, you can't find them on Canvas or SIS for whatever reason, if you go to the LAHS website and go to the course catalog, you'll see every class has a course information sheet about it, and the final percentages are also on there.
That is true, but there, so thank you for that, Soham, as well. There may be variation by teacher though. So I would say last stop, if you totally can't find it, is just reach out to your teacher individually. Any other questions? Anybody? Anybody? It's a really good opportunity. No. Okay, well, do we want to hang out for a couple of minutes and see if anybody has questions, or wrap up? Ms. Wise, you're muted.
Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted to make sure we made this time effective for you guys. So we also want to respect the fact that you are getting ready for finals. And so any chat left, we'll give it a little bit more time here, maybe like a couple more seconds. And if not, we just want to say on behalf of everybody, we did this because we know that it can be a little nerve wracking, and we wish you the best of luck. You know, take it one test at a time. You can do it. We're all here for you. And we know that virtually is a whole other layer, right, of like new ways to do things. So you guys have already been doing amazing work trying to adjust to this new stuff to begin with. You've been warriors, and we really are so proud of you guys. Just want to send you the good energy as we go into finals, and we really are watching out for you guys. So just good luck. Get some fun in here and there too, right? When you can, to enjoy and get through this. And we wish you guys the best. I know you guys are going to do great next week.
Absolutely. And we wish all of you a great winter break. Oh, hold on. We have a last minute question. Yay. When will we know what our scores are? So grades are going to be posted in early January. I don't know, like per class necessarily. That will be like just depending on when and how your teachers post that, I guess. But your final grades will be posted in January, and then you should be able to see the grade breakdown at that time as well. So bottom line is next week is it, and then you kind of go, okay, this semester is done in the books, and you go and relax for 2 weeks. And we really, really hope you guys have a great first winter break of high school. Like Mr. Ladine said, it's a really tough way to start high school, and our hearts really go out to you guys, and we look forward to meeting you in person as soon as we can.
And we just want to also thank the two lovely SEL students that kindly and so graciously decided to help, offer to help us today. And then also we're looking forward to branching and collabing with the SEO to have different events in the future for the freshman class. So you guys are able to connect and collaborate and network with the counseling department and the SEO at a later time. So we thank you guys for coming.
No problem.
All right. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
Thank you.